What's good, fam? Social celebrity lifestyle here, back again with another juicy celebrity drama update. Today, we're diving deep into the financial woes of one of the biggest moguls in the game, none other than the one and only Diddy. Now, you all know Diddy as the ultimate boss who's built a hip-hop empire worth hundreds of millions. But lately, the feds have been closing in, and our boy Puff Daddy is in some major hot water. Apparently, he's so broke that he's been forced to sell off over $40 million in assets just to stay afloat. And get this, his own lawyers even dropped him for owing them $70 million in unpaid bills. Yup, you heard that right. The once untouchable Sean Combs is really down bad right now. But don't worry, we're gonna break down everything that's going on so you're all caught up. By the end of this video, you're gonna have a whole new appreciation for just how quickly the mighty can fall in this crazy world of entertainment. So sit back, grab your popcorn, and let's dive in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss any more celebrity bombshells from your favorite trending topics channel. Let's get into it. Alright, let's start with a quick recap of Diddy's rise to the top. Back in the 90s, he burst onto the scene as Puff Daddy, taking the rap world by storm with his distinctive style and unparalleled business savvy. He founded Bad Boy Records and signed superstars like the Notorious B.I.G., launching one of the most successful hip-hop labels of all time. But Diddy wasn't satisfied with just being a music mogul. Over the years, he's expanded his empire into fashion, spirits, media, and even healthcare. From Sean John clothing to Ciroc vodka to Revolt TV, the guy has had his hands in pretty much every major industry. At the height of his powers, Forbes estimated his net worth to be around $900 million, making him one of the wealthiest entertainers on the planet. However, all that glitz and glamour appears to be crumbling fast. According to recent reports, Diddy is in the midst of a major financial crisis that threatens to topple his entire business empire. The root of the problem seems to be a combination of legal troubles, mismanagement, and the lingering effects of the 2019 pandemic. First and foremost, Diddy has been battling the feds for years over allegations of tax evasion and other financial crimes. Back in 2013, he was hit with a $20 million tax lien from the IRS, and things have only gotten worse since then. Apparently, Diddy has been engaging in all kinds of shady accounting practices to hide his true wealth and avoid paying his fair share. Well, the chickens are finally coming home to roost. The feds have been closing in, and they're not messing around. They've seized assets, frozen bank accounts, and are now threatening Diddy with serious prison time if he doesn't cooperate fully. It's gotten so bad that Diddy has been forced to start liquidating his assets just to stay afloat and cover his legal fees. On top of that, Diddy's various business ventures have been struggling mightily in the aftermath of the pandemic. His clothing line, Sean John, filed for bankruptcy in 2021, and he was forced to sell the brand for a measly $7.5 million, a far cry from the $100 million he initially paid to acquire it back in the early 2000s. His Ciroc vodka brand, which was once a cash cow, has also seen its sales plummet in recent years as consumer tastes have shifted. And Revolt TV, Diddy's ambitious media startup, has been hemorrhaging money and failing to gain traction against bigger players like Netflix and Hulu. All of these financial woes have come to a head in a very public and embarrassing way. Just a few months ago, Diddy's own lawyers announced that they were dropping him as a client because he owes them a staggering $70 million in unpaid bills. Can you believe that? One of the biggest moguls in the game, getting dumped by his own legal team for not paying his bills. The ultimate fall from grace. Now, with the feds closing in and his lawyers abandoning ship, Diddy is in full-on panic mode. He's been desperately trying to raise cash any way he can to keep his empire from completely collapsing. The first move he made was to start selling off some of his most valuable assets. According to reports, Diddy has been unloading over $40 million worth of real estate, art, and other luxury items in a last-ditch effort to stay afloat. One of the biggest sales was his palatial mansion in the Hamptons, which he offloaded for a cool $21.8 million. This 9-bedroom, 9-bathroom behemoth had been Diddy's crown jewel for years, but now he's had to part ways with it just to cover his mounting legal bills and other expenses. He's also been auctioning off pieces from his extensive art collection, including works by famous artists like Jean-Michel Basquiat and Andy Warhol. Industry insiders say these art sales have netted Diddy around $15 million so far. And it doesn't stop there. Diddy has also been trying to liquidate his stakes in various business ventures, although he's been struggling to find buyers willing to pay what he thinks they're worth. For example, he's been shopping around his Ciroc vodka brand, but no one seems to be biting at his $1 billion asking price. Even more telling is the fact that Diddy has been desperately trying to renegotiate the terms of his various licensing and distribution deals. He recently struck a new agreement with Diageo, the multinational alcoholic beverages company that owns Ciroc, significantly reducing his ownership stake and royalty payments. It's a far cry from the glory days when Diddy was calling all the shots and flexing his mogul status. Now, he's in a much weaker negotiating position, forced to accept whatever terms these larger corporations are willing to offer just to keep some cash flowing. But the real kicker is what's happening with Diddy's beloved Revolt TV network. Earlier this year, he was reportedly shopping the struggling media company around to potential buyers, but no one was willing to take it off his hands. So in a desperate move, Diddy has now resorted to seeking outside investment to save Revolt. He's been pleading with venture capitalists and private equity firms to pump in hundreds of millions of dollars to help turn the network around. But even that hasn't been easy, as investors are understandably wary of pouring good money after bad. All of this paints a bleak picture for Diddy's once mighty empire. The guy who was once untouchable, bossing around the entire industry, is now being forced to grovel and make concessions just to avoid total financial ruin. It's a humbling fall from grace, to say the least. Of course, Diddy's financial troubles haven't just impacted him personally. They've also had far-reaching consequences for the countless people and businesses that have been tied to his empire over the years. Take his employees, for instance. Hundreds of people have lost their jobs as Diddy has been forced to shut down various parts of his business. The collapse of Sean John Clothing alone resulted in over 300 layoffs, leaving many families without a steady income. And then there are the artists and creatives who have relied on Diddy's Bad Boy Records and Revolt TV for work and exposure. With those operations in turmoil, a whole generation of up-and-coming talent is being left high and dry, wondering if they'll ever get their big break. Not to mention the countless vendors, suppliers, and service providers who are owed millions by Diddy and likely won't be seeing that money anytime soon, if ever. From catering companies to security firms to real estate agents, they're all getting the short end of the stick as Diddy's empire crumbles. It's a domino effect that's impacting so many people, all because of one man's apparent mismanagement and legal troubles. And the fallout doesn't stop there. Diddy's financial woes have also had ripple effects throughout the entire entertainment industry. For one, it's shaken the confidence of investors and lenders who may now be more hesitant to back high-profile, celebrity-driven ventures. If even a titan like Diddy can fall so hard, what does that mean for the next up-and-coming mogul trying to build their own empire? Moreover, Diddy's downfall is fueling a wider conversation about the precarious nature of wealth and power in the entertainment world. So many of these mega-rich celebrities and business leaders have built their fortunes on shaky foundations, with little financial oversight or accountability. And when the rug gets pulled out from under them, it's regular people who end up paying the price. Of course, the big question on everyone's mind is, what's next for Diddy? Can he somehow pull off a miraculous comeback and salvage his empire? Or is this truly the beginning of the end for one of hip-hop's most legendary figures? Honestly, it's hard to say at this point. Diddy is clearly doing everything in his power to stay afloat, but the odds seem stacked against him. The feds aren't going away anytime soon, and with his lawyers abandoning ship, his legal options are dwindling. Even if he's able to raise enough cash to fend off the immediate threats, there's still the long-term question of how he's going to rebuild and restructure his business operations. The damage to his brand and reputation may be too severe to overcome. One possibility is that Diddy is forced to sell off the remaining pieces of his empire to the highest bidder. His Ciroc and Revolt TV stakes could potentially fetch hundreds of millions, which he could then use to pay off his debts and start fresh. But even that may not be enough to stave off complete financial ruin. Another scenario is that Diddy has to take a step back, relinquish control of his businesses, and accept a more limited role moving forward. Perhaps he could transition into more of an advisory or licensing capacity, where he lends his name and expertise while letting others handle the day-to-day operations. Ultimately, Diddy's fate remains very much up in the air. What we do know is that the once unstoppable mogul is now fighting for his very survival, and the entire entertainment world is watching with bated breath to see how it all plays out. Will Diddy find a way to rise from the ashes and reclaim his rightful place atop the hip-hop empire? Or is this the tragic end of an era, a cautionary tale about the fragility of even the mightiest fortunes? Only time will tell. Phew, that's a lot to unpack, fam. Who would have thought the mighty Diddy would fall so far, so fast? It really just goes to show that even the biggest stars and business moguls aren't immune to the harsh realities of the entertainment industry. From battles with the feds to getting dumped by his own lawyers, Diddy has been through the ringer lately. And with his empire crumbling all around him, he's been forced to take some drastic measures just to stay afloat. Selling off millions in assets, renegotiating deals, and begging for outside investment. It's a far cry from the boss moves we're used to seeing from Puff Daddy. But you know what they say, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. And in Diddy's case, the fall has been nothing short of jaw-dropping. His once untouchable status has been reduced to a desperate scramble for survival, and it's honestly kind of sad to see. At the same time, this whole saga is a cautionary tale about the fragility of wealth and power in the entertainment industry. Diddy seemed invincible, but it only took a few bad breaks, a pandemic, some legal troubles, mismanagement, and suddenly his entire empire was teetering on the brink of collapse. And let's not forget about all the regular people who've been collateral damage in this whole ordeal. Hundreds of employees losing their jobs, artists and creatives having the rug pulled out from under them, vendors and suppliers potentially getting stiffed on millions. It's a domino effect that just keeps on giving. So what does the future hold for Diddy? Honestly, it's hard to say. He's clearly fighting tooth and nail to salvage what he can. But the odds seem stacked against him at this point. The feds aren't going away, his lawyers have abandoned him, and his various business ventures are all in shambles. He might be able to raise enough cash through asset sales and debt restructuring to temporarily stave off complete financial ruin. But long-term, it feels like Diddy is going to have to accept a much more limited role, maybe even relinquishing control of his empire to outside investors or buyers. And you know what? That might not be the worst thing in the world. As sad as it is to see Diddy's fall from grace, maybe this could be an opportunity for him to reset, refocus, and reinvent himself in a more sustainable way. He's still a legend in the game, and there's no reason he can't bounce back and find success again, just in a different capacity. At the end of the day, this whole saga is a powerful reminder that even the mightiest can tumble. Diddy's story isn't over yet, but it's definitely taken a dramatic turn. And who knows, maybe a few years down the line, we'll be talking about how he made the ultimate comeback. But for now, it's all about weathering the storm and seeing what the future holds. So there you have it, fam. The wild, crazy, and frankly heartbreaking story of how Diddy went from mogul to broke. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more celebrity drama updates from social celebrity lifestyle and the trending topics. Until next time, peace.